Algar Productions.
This is the Post-Atomic Horror, the most comprehensive Star Trek podcast ever produced. Your hosts are Ron Algar Watt and Maggie Robotham. Episode 525, The Broken Circle.
Hi friends, welcome to the Post-Atomic Horror. I'm Al.
I'm Maggie.
And we're on to Season 2 of
Yes, welcome to Season 2.
Mm-hmm. Just like Season 1, but twice as much.
But, yep, there was more of it.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad kickoff. I got a bit bored in the middle, but there was some good stuff here.
There's some very extended slow-motion fight scenes.
There sure are.
And then when you're like, oh, are the slow-motion fight scenes over? It's like, no, we have more slow-motion fight scenes to show you.
Mm-hmm. What if we made them slower and fightier?
Mm-hmm. We took special drugs to make us have slow-motion fight scenes.
We'll get into it.
I'm like, sir, I already saw Dredd.
Mm-hmm. All right, why don't you tell? I thought this was the episode that we're getting later, and it's not. So I maybe misspoke last week because I thought we were dealing with number 1 already. But I guess
you get that. You get that next week. That's your problem.
Okay. Why don't you tell us what happens in The Broken Circle?
The Broken Circle. So the Enterprise is back at Starbase 1 for shore leave and maintenance, and Captain Pike is leaving for 3 days to see about springing Una from jail, which leaves Spock in charge. Captain, Spock says, couldn't we put like anyone else in the seat? What with my emotions being all crazy like and me being kind of unfit for command? Nonsense, Spock, says Chris, putting some kind of horse thing on another kind of horse thing. You're Spock. Everybody trusts you. And also, it's 3 days. What could possibly happen in 3 days? Literally everything, says Spock. But Pike's already riding away in his space horse into the next episode, and thus making it Al's problem. Mm-hmm. So Spock is in charge of the Enterprise for almost 10 minutes before Uhura receives a call for help from La'an, requesting assistance on her Get That Newt Kid Home mission from last season. Admiral April is making it absolutely clear that Spock is not to go anywhere near La'an or her subplots. We just got rid of her, he says reasonably, and Carol Kane's here to take over. Why would you want to go get her? Carol Kane from Taxi? Spock asks. She was also the hot Penguin's mom in Gotham, April replies before hanging up. So, with no other recourse, Spock decides to steal the Enterprise, something I believe he will do over 3,000 times in the next 60 years of Trek. This plan lasts for about 5 seconds before the aforementioned Carol Kane appears to play Pelia, the sensational character find of 1940. And Pelia knows exactly what's going on. But it turns out that she's down for a caper, so fuck it, let's go. The credits haven't even rolled yet. We catch up with La'an on a dilithium mining planet on the edge of Klingon space. Apparently, part of the peace talks for the Klingon War involved this planet trading off between Klingons and Federations, and the Klingons currently have digging rights. The problem is that someone is buying a lot of Federation tech in an effort to start the war up again. Because as we have learned repeatedly from Deep Space Nine, and also living in America, home of the Forever War, no amount of dead bodies is worth more than one single fucking dollar. M'Benga and Chapel meet up with Newt's family and provide some much-needed medical help before they're kidnapped and taken aboard a homemade Federation ship. The plan here is to have this thing attack a Klingon cruiser and restart the war. Unfortunately, these dipshits didn't count on Chapel and M'Benga injecting themselves with what I can only assume is some kind of blended-up invincibility star from Super Mario, because the two then proceed to beat the ever-living piss out of a metric shit-ton of Klingons in the space of about 20 seconds. On the Enterprise, Spock and company have united with La'an and are waiting for Chapel and M'Benga to show up when the fake ship flies into space and starts waving a big sign saying, "Shoot me," at the battlecruiser. Uhura receives a distress signal from Team Medical, and Spock has to make the tough decision of blowing up the other ship with Chapel, the woman he has feelings that he does not understand, on board, and also M'Benga, who is a very nice man. Eventually, he does blow the ship up, and Chapel and M'Benga are saved when they jump out of the fucking ship with no spacesuits on, which is one of the coolest things that you can do in a space show. The war is averted, Spock goes drinking with the captain of the battlecruiser, Pelia joins the crew, and everything works out nicely. And Spock receives absolutely no punishment from Admiral April, because this is Star Trek, and that doesn't fucking happen. And also, I keep almost saying Admiral Akbar.
Well, that feels like a trap.
Uh-huh. I can't believe you stole the Enterprise.
It's a standard episode, 5 stars out of 10. Well, let's just get into your bad thing, because that kind of dovetails with the end of the summary there.
So, let me scroll down. Let me scroll buttons.
Mm-hmm. Scroll button.
So, as always, the ends justifies the means in Starfleet, and everyone gets away with everything. April lets Spock off scot-free without any kind of punishment whatsoever, and that sort of thing just doesn't work, honestly. Like, show them getting away with something. Have them lie. Have April suspect something but not be able to prove anything. Like, you have plenty of time to put that kind of plot in while Chaplin and Mbenga are continuing to beat Klingon ass.
Yeah, that was about a third of the episode.
It just feels like, once again, Michael did this every week, where it would just be like, hey, you didn't follow any kind of, you did a really bad thing. You stole a ship. That's bad.
One thing,
and you just come back and go, whoops.
One thing I think the show has done pretty well is it's kind of like they do some meta commentary on the original series, and sometimes they can, like when we talked about the kid killing episode, they do things that they couldn't have gotten away with in the 60s.
Yeah.
And sometimes they say, it's 50, 60 years later, maybe we can't tell the same kinds of stories anymore. And they've done that every time, like they did it at the beginning and end of last season when they've asked us to compare Pike to Kirk. Where it's like I mentioned this in the very first episode where he's like, I know I can't cheat death. This is how I have to live. And that is so quintessentially, like, that's so obviously saying, here's how he's different from the guy he kind of resembles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in the last episode, sometimes you have to take a crazy fucking leap for things to work out okay. If you try to play nice, it's not going to work. And that's interesting. But what's more interesting to me is, like, if the show said, back in the 60s when we were writing these stories, of course, some loose cannon would go off and do whatever he wanted and everything would be fine. But now, in hindsight, we can say that's not the best way to run a military.
No.
And maybe we could address that. Instead, they're just doing exactly what they did in the 60s, and it doesn't work as well anymore.
Well, that's, like, I am always here to see our guys do the right thing. Like,
of course. You want these guys to be heroes, especially since Trek has been real into what if it was a little dark now? And, like, no, heroes, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to see, well, I guess Lon's going to die, you know.
Yeah. Well.
Also, Admiral April going like, hey, she's not in Starfleet. She's not our problem anymore. I'm sorry.
I don't know. That
if I take a week off to go to Disneyland and Disneyland blows up, you're not going to send a guy to check on me?
No, but if you take 3 months off and say, maybe I quit, I'll let you know. Like, at what point do we stop keeping the chair warm for you? I almost get it, and I will give them credit. They did give April a scene at the end with another admiral where he's like, yeah, that sucked and I should have punished him, but also I couldn't tell him this, but he did a great job because we almost had another fucking war on our hands. And,
and the Gorn are going to continue to be a problem, unfortunately.
Which I don't like, but no. I do like that they at least address that, like him saying, I probably should have done more, but also he did good. And like,
fuck it, it's Spock.
Yeah, exactly.
We all like that guy.
But you're not wrong that it's a little like it sends a weird message.
I want to see I just want to see a little bit more creativity in that, because you could do something really cool with, like, you've got Pelia there. It's just like, well, she's trusted. Like, clearly, if she's telling us something went wrong, she's worth believing. Like,
well, Pelia, and this is my good thing. Carol Kane is Pelia, who is the new chief engineer now.
Yep.
I don't want to criticize your summary, but you kind of made it sound like she was replacing La'an. And
oh no,
she's replacing Dead Hemmer.
Yes.
And she was here because they were at space dock, and she was just sort of checking the ship out. And then she's like, so she's been alive for a long time. She's met Spock's mom.
Yep.
And we will find out later she was alive at least when we're alive now in the 21st century, because they do a time travel thing. And she's been around a long time. She's seen a lot of shit. And you know, I'm not a big fantasy guy, like fantasy horror type thing, but like I love a bored immortal.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I guess Star Trek's done this too. I guess it could be science fiction, but it often comes up in the context of like vampires or whatever.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That's a real vampire trope.
Yeah, exactly. I've been alive forever. All my friends are dead. What am I going to do now? And she's not really sad about it. What she is literally just bored. And she's like, I want some excitement. So yeah, this young up and coming officer wants to do some brash thing for the greater good. Yeah, I'll help him out.
Yeah.
Plus, I know his mom. He's a good kid.
Yeah. She really hits the ground running, and I am delighted to see her, you know?
Yeah, her first scene is her coming on the bridge and saying, "Oh, you guys trying to fake a warp core breach? What a joke. What are you doing?"
This looks exactly like someone trying to fake a warp core breach.
Like, I teach a class on warp core breaches. You guys are not good at this. Chris left the children in charge, and normally his number one is also the grown-up in the room, and she's gone, so everyone here is a kid. You need some grown-up, and thankfully that's me.
I love so much. She's just like, I also know that if you're stealing this ship, you're stealing it for a good reason. Do you have a good reason?
Mm-hmm. Do you know that, though? Because they could be possessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's plenty of things. Like, no, it's not likely they've all decided to go rogue and turn against Starfleet on the Enterprise, but it's certainly possible they've been possessed, or, you know, some nanites came, or who knows. Like, but whatever. She gets it. And
just like she leaves the bridge to go down to engineering and might as well just be leaping in the air and clicking her heels. It's wonderful.
Yeah, because the scene ends with, here's how you fake it. Can I be your chief engineer? I know you have a vacancy. Great. Bye. She's so good.
Everyone on the bridge just looking at each other like, what the fuck happened?
And this is Carol Kane. Like, she has been doing great comedy for 50 plus years. Like, she knows, like, but she's also a decent, like, actor. So, like, she's a great choice. She's 70 plus here, looking great.
She looks amazing.
Yeah. Like, she does not look 40 years older than 40 years older than she was in The Princess Bride. She looks like 20. Well, I mean, you know, she was in age makeup in that, but still. Like,
sure.
Or let's say Taxi.
What else
then.
have I seen her in? I've seen her in a million things.
Scrooged.
She's in Scrooged.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. She was she popped up in Kimmy Schmidt a good deal.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. I love her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
When they announced her as the new chief engineer, I'm like, fuck yes.
Mm-hmm. And the character's, like, great. It's not like, because sometimes they will bring on a performer and then they will kind of waste the potential. Like, you had this person and you didn't do anything with them. But no, this is a very good match of character and performer. So very pleased to have her aboard.
The bit at the end with Spock where she's like, you know, the worst thing about living for centuries, and he's like, yeah, I'm sure it's your friends dying, and she goes, no, that's how it is. That if you're a person, that's how, like, that's just life.
Yeah, it happens more for us, but it happens for you too.
Yeah, no, it's being bored.
Especially
I'm bored.
Yeah, it's so boring. But I mean, Spock is a long-lived Vulcan who's mostly friends with humans. Like, he's going to go through that exact thing.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's a long-lived Vulcan, but he's a young, long-lived Vulcan. Like,
yeah, but what I'm saying, in the life that he has ahead of him, he's going to lose a lot of friends to age because he mostly pals around with humans who die young, like, from his POV, you know?
Mm-hmm. Who am I supposed to argue with anymore?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll just go to an alternate universe where Jim's young and I can argue with him all over again.
There we go. Oh no, the bones of this universe has too much respect for me.
No,
I overshot. Sure you don't want to call me a prancing hobgoblin? No.
Why would I do that? You know why they call me Bones? Because of the divorce. Okay, all right.
I get to call me Bones because I have a full set of bones in my body.
My wife got him in the divorce. All right.
Stole my bones.
What was your good thing?
What was my good thing? Forcing Spock into real command of a starship for the first time while he is going through his horrible emotion, his horrible second puberty,
Yep.
is fucking amazing. It is great stuff. The tension at the end when he knows that Chapel's on the ship and he has to blow it up is just so fucking good. I love the doubts when Pike puts him in charge. I love him stealing the Enterprise. It's all great, and everything is magnified so much by just cutting to him and having him literally wipe the sweat off his brow because he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I used to know what I was doing. It's awesome.
It's an interesting way to show, because I think I certainly made this assumption, and I think many people watching make the assumption that Spock's going to be a bit square until Jim comes and loosens him up a bit. No, he's got these tendencies. He's always had these tendencies.
Yeah.
Like when I heard they were doing this show, I'd be and you asked me, would Spock steal the Enterprise prior to meeting Jim Kirk? I'd be absolutely not. That kid's a bad influence on him. That's when he's going to start acting like that. No.
But like, and also the idea of him in his like being in his 20s, basically, and being like, do I want to mess around with like, do I want to fuck with having emotions? Like maybe this is what I am, you know?
Could be. I mean,
it's that idea.
That's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
It's that idea of being like young and like figuring out who you like. Do I want to fuck around for a couple of years, tour through Europe and be mad before I settle down and be a Vulcan?
Everyone always talks about Spock being a torn character, torn between his Vulcan and human sides, and that's true. That's always been true, but he's always favored the Vulcan side. And here we can see in his youth, he toyed with the human side a bit more, and that's interesting.
Like, the idea that he unleashed this because he had to, and now he can't put it back in the like, it's cool. Yeah. It's a neat angle, and it's not something that, like, all these years of Spock stuff have really done. Like, we see some of that in the original series and in the movies and stuff, but, like, I like having this, like, this young Spock trying to, like, who am I? What's going on?
No, and I like, Mbenga says, like he kind of puts a science spin on it. He's like, Vulcans, when they do all this meditative stuff and when they go through Kolinahr and all that, they actively repress certain chemicals. Like you are reinforcing certain chemicals to not release so that you're not so emotional.
Yes.
And what you did biochemically was make that, like, break those barriers down. So it's nice that they're not talking in these sort of abstract mind terms. It's like, no, it's brain chemicals, and you've made like you tore the dam down for the brain chemicals, and now they are flowing like crazy. And
like you have to put up if you're going to, you have to put up all these mental blocks and stuff again.
Yes. But whenever Star Trek talks about that stuff, it's always like the mind, and it's just this esoteric thing. And I just like putting it in terms of, no, it's a chemical thing. When you like, it's like when you meditate, this is a real thing. When you meditate, it helps release serotonin, and it helps like regulate your dopamine and all that stuff.
Sure.
Like, and that's what Vulcans do. They do things that actually change their brain chemistry, and he messed that up, which is good. You know, it's a good way to explain it.
Well, and also Vulcans have a tendency to come off as kind of magical.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I prefer...
Just make something up that's just, chemicals, whatever.
But it's a science fiction show. Like, give me... Like, I have to buy into the fact that they are, like, mind-reading elf guys.
Sure.
But, like, you could put a little work in and tell me how that's possible in a world that I'm supposed to believe exists, you know?
I always come back to, wait, so did Vulcans discover the soul?
Yeah,
did you guys prove that the soul is real?
I guess
well,
so.
For us, yes.
Yeah, look, we're like any religion. We only believe that we're right.
Yeah.
Nobody
you guys
else
don't
has a
have
soul.
it.
Yeah.
That's why we hate. That's why we hate humans so much.
Yeah,
I think you smell.
I was about to say that's why we were such big assholes when we first met you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you guys don't have souls.
That was the original reason, and then we met John Archer, and then we don't need any more reason.
Now we have a real reason to hate you guys. That guy sucks.
Look, we don't have
let
emotions.
him do whatever he wants, huh?
Hate that guy. Also, I've said this many times, and I'll probably continue to say it, but all of this emotional Spock stuff is just the secret origin of the women.
Yep. And you know what? I'm down for that.
That's been one of the big mysteries of like, wait, that really happened? That wasn't the unaired pilot? That's a real thing that happened?
Yep.
He just screamed, the women! Like, why was he like that?
Because he was having some real weird emotional times. And when someone steals all the women off your bridge, you go, the women!
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Captain Pike!
Mm-hmm. But my bad thing is also Spock related, and related to his youth, actually. What they are clearly doing with the end of this episode is trying to say, remember Star Trek VI and then later Unification when he became an ambassador? This is where that started. Look, he can drink blood wine with a Klingon general. He can pal around with these guys. He's like a cool and like, I think this is just headcanon, and maybe my bad thing is they didn't line the show up with my headcanon, but I always saw that as sort of his second act.
Sure.
Like, I've done everything I can do as a science officer. I've still got a lot of life ahead of me, and me and my dad aren't on the best of terms. What if I tried to do his line of work and make him proud of me? Like, that's how I always took that, and it's weird that he's doing it this early. It just doesn't line up. Like, right now, Spock is science officer guy. He's not ambassador guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's older Spock to me.
See, to me, this felt more like again, the emotion thing is where he's just like, I gotta figure out how to talk to I gotta not start a war. Like, we stopped a war, but we might start a war anyway.
Oh no, it works in the context of this story. I don't mean that. I don't mean like they wrecked, the logic to make that work. I'm just saying it so clearly felt like, yeah, remember how he became an ambassador? Here's how it started. And like, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
I just see him be like, would be cool to go drinking with Klingons, though. That would be fun as hell.
I guess so. Also, I'm sure I've pointed this out before, but the fact that they get blitzed on something called blood wine just still makes me laugh because, like, think of anyone getting absolutely trashed on wine.
Yeah.
Of any kind. It's wine.
I mean, look, it's definitely happened, but...
yeah, but I mean...
There's not the...
To the extent that they imply in any Klingon scene that this is like hard liquor. No, it's wine. Come on.
It doesn't have the appeal of like Klingon blood rum or blood whiskey or blood grog.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'll have a blood tequila sunrise, please.
I gotta get these 3 glasses of blood grog across town before they melt through the cup.
From the important looking Klingons at that table over there.
Yep. Honor, honor, honor.
Oh man. But as far as like the secret origin of Spock things go, we also do get the secret origin of his Vulcan harp, and I do like that.
That was great.
Because M'Benga says, if you want to calm your nervous system, playing music is good for that. And music, like Vulcans are into the mathematics of music, like even if you don't have that artistic flair that we have. And he picks up this harp and he starts playing it, and it's exactly what we know he's going to play later. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense that he's using this as a soothing thing. I like that.
Like him jamming in his quarters, and Uhura shows up and go, "You jamming in your quarters?"
Yeah,
no.
Is that music?
Yeah.
And we know later they will jam together, but he's not comfortable enough with that yet.
No, I am still learning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I know that. I've been learning the bass for 5 years, and every now and then a friend who plays guitar is like, we should play together. Nope.
No.
I'm very happy with my stuff as long as no one else hears it.
I just love Uhura just like, is that Baba Black Sheep?
No, we do not have sheeps on Vulcan. It is Baba Sailot.
This is this introduction to row your boat.
Oh, no. See, that would also be a kind of a cute little secret origin. That would be okay.
Plink, plink.
Except he didn't know that song, so no, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Well, he only knows the music part. Like, he doesn't know the lyrics.
Ah, yes, of course.
It's like, I've known this song since I learned the Vulcan Lyre, but life, as has been stated many times, is not a dream.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else?
What else, indeed. I loved the amount of, we had a lot of Mitchell in this episode.
Yes, same.
Mitchell. And
who is the, in the Chekhov spot next to Ortegas.
She's been pretty much the regular Chekhov spot next to Ortegas, and they basically do like the, Spock gets the bridge crew together to discuss stealing the Enterprise, and she's in there, and I'm like, yes, More of her, please. Like,
Yeah.
I always
No,
they
and
bring in these guys, and like I just want to see more of them.
I mean, that has been a Star Trek thing. I mean, from the original series, really,
Yes.
they rotated people in and out of that spot. But I think Next Gen especially, where you'd have Data, and once Wesley left, you had a constant rotating, like someone in that seat. There's one young lady I remember seeing quite a bit of, but she almost never spoke, and there were a lot of other people in and out of there. But like, it's nice, yeah. Mitchell's there and contributes to the discussion. Like,
Yeah.
isn't just there to say, "I, sir." She actually is like, "What if we did it this way? What if we tried this?" And like,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad she's part of it.
Stick Mitchell in there to make the room look fuller. It's like, no, she's got stuff to say. She's got opinions. And I'm like, what are they? Tell me more.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope they don't do the Disco thing where we never learn anything about her. Like,
Yeah,
Disco had all
exactly.
those people on the bridge for 6 seasons or whatever, and we never
Yep.
knew anything about any of them.
Hey, do you guys have any thoughts about anything? I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we'll find out where they ended up in the epilogue. No, we're going to follow Michael that whole time.
Yeah. They're going to bail 2 episodes early, and Maggie won't notice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what
We
else.
also had like Kyle's not in this episode, but we've got Jay, who's like
Mm-hmm.
awesome, and I had to look it up because and that is a they, and that is also awesome.
That's what I thought. I was getting strong NB vibes, but also
Yeah.
I'm not super qualified. I have a vibe, but
Well, that's
That's
it's
it.
like you give off they, but I'm not gonna like I don't want to be a
No.
dick about it and just presume, you know?
no, it'd be like if someone walked up to you and said, "Oh, trans girl, huh?" Like it's rude.
It's
Don't
like
do that.
yeah, but shut up.
It's
I got
like,
other things to say.
It's like, are you pregnant? Like you just don't do that. You wait for them to bring it up. you know?
Yeah.
But no, I got that vibe too. I did not look it up. I'm glad to see that that's confirmed.
I
and I'm
believe
glad
I
to
was
see
on
that
the
they're
Memory
doing
Alpha page and it said they, so you know.
that. Good.
Yeah.
Glad. Let's see what else.
What else?
I have lots of notes during that first Pelia scene, even though we kind of talked it to death. There was a lot going on there.
Well, I mean, let me roll this out. This is my quote.
Yeah, what do you got?
If you're going to steal a starship, do it correctly. Hell, can you vent ionized plasma from the warp nacelles?
I could, but should I?
I can, but should I?
Yeah, no, that's very good. I will say that's a great quote, but also about 50% of that is visual.
Yes.
Because Ortega's given that real wary look to, Spock should. You want me to do that?
What's the deal here, boss? I love
You're the
Ortega
guy.
so much.
I do, but then there's the bit where she's like, "You want to say your thing?" And we both just like, "Ugh, this again." Mm-hmm.
They keep. It's not just that they keep doing it that. Although I do hate that.
Yeah.
Like it's that they keep making it like a fucking 5-minute conversation about it.
Yep.
Like they have done this so far in Disco. We saw it again in Prodigy. They must
Lower
have done it a
Decks.
million times in Lower Decks because that's
They
the
did it a
exact
few
kind of
times,
joke
yeah.
they love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like now I got to see this again.
If I remember correctly, Lower Decks brought it up first, like production wise, like they were the first show to do that because that and for that show, that's the kind of joke that they did. But
Sure.
then for all the other more serious shows to do that is just like, this is a running thing, huh? Like, and we've brought this up a million times. Most captains don't have a thing. Kirk didn't.
No.
Picard did. Sisko didn't. Janeway didn't. Like Archer didn't. Like they just didn't.
Yeah. It's just suddenly it's like, hey, if you're the captain, you got to make up this. That's dumb.
Yeah, it is. And then Spock's like, I would like the ship to go, and that was kind of funny.
That was funny. I like that. Like I'll give it to them for that one, but
They
just
Ortega's,
building up the tension, zoom in on it. I would like the ship to go now.
Mm-hmm. He said, please.
Yeah.
But if I had any complaint about Ortegas, and it is a small one, but it is that they sometimes make her the I'm actually one of you from the 2020s, and I
Yeah.
think like you, and I have sort of the meta awareness, and I use the slang, and I'm just like I love the easygoing, funny, wisecracking character if it's done right, and she's great. But some of the lines they give her are just like, okay, this is just a Lower Decks character sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like there was a show for that, and I'm not going to diss it anymore. You can if you want, but I'm not like, we already did that for 50 episodes or whatever. Like,
Oh, I'm sure it'll come up again. I'm still mad about it.
well, it'll come up later this very season. Then it's open season because it's here, but like
Yeah.
in front of us, you know. But I feel like that the time for that vibe has passed. It had its show, and when they make Ortegas like that, it kind of takes me out of the show a little bit. That's
Yeah.
all. But she is so charming that it doesn't bother me very much.
Yeah. That's
That's the
it. It's
performer.
like, all right, fine. You're amazing.
Well, that's because a good performer can sell lines that are maybe not the best, you know? Like,
I'll let it pass that you're like the only person on the ship who says sucks.
yeah, exactly. Uhura occasionally talks like that because she's younger.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Uhura, she has officially been promoted to ensign, which is nice.
Yes.
That was
love. She
Okay.
shows up on the planet to rescue Connie, and Connie's like, Ensign. And Uhura goes, yeah, well, if you leave, you miss stuff.
that was a genuinely good La'an moment. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give it to her. And I think I said this before. I think the point of sending her away for a while was to say, off screen, she mellowed a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as I recall, I've only seen through season 2, but as I recall, she's less all that stuff we don't like
Good.
going forward. Like, I think
Because, as you said, she's like, when she's not like
the performer's
constantly
great.
on, she's great.
Yeah, I don't like the character, but also if the character has changed, maybe I
Yeah.
will like her. And like, she doesn't have to completely lose her edge. Just
No.
stop saying the Gona monsters. Yeah, I know. Thanks.
It's like, okay.
Mhm.
Do you want to maybe get like a hobby or something? I hear Spock's starting a band.
I am not.
All right, real quick. Spock on lyre. Uhura on vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Ortega's.
Hang on. Chapel absolutely on tambourine.
Yup, 100%.
I feel like
Ortega's
Chapel-
on drums sounds right to me.
I don't know why I picture a saxophone, but you're probably right.
Uh-huh. It's a ska band.
Okay. I was just thinking sort of an 80s, like a Huey Lewis in the News kind of thing where there's some horns, but it's not a full horn section.
Oh,
kind of
that
thing.
works too. Let me see
Yeah.
here. Pike doesn't show up, but he's in the audience.
Yeah, absolutely, and very supportive.
Yes.
I feel like had Hammer stuck around, he absolutely would have played like guitar or something. Like he would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
Or if you want to go a little on the nose with it, you can make him play keyboards and make him Stevie Wonder, I guess. But
Yeah.
I think guitar makes more sense.
I could absolutely see him being the guy in the background who's playing the guitar. He's not like dancing or anything. He's just like
No.
quietly back there playing the guitar.
No, he's the virtuoso who doesn't put on a visual show for you, but like
Yeah.
he's really good at it. Yeah, absolutely.
And Connie's the hype man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy.
And they're called, let me think here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, go on.
I don't know, Shuttlecraft Galileo, something like that.
Feel like we could workshop that, but off the top of
Yeah.
my head, it's hard to yeah, I don't know.
I'm coming to visit in a couple of weeks. We'll figure something out.
I know what genre they are.
Mm-hmm.
Strange New Wave.
Yep. There we go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, enough fun. Let's talk about the tedium in this episode.
Oh God, they spend so much time fighting in hallways. This episode is like watching someone play Double Dragon.
It's like you remember the Daredevil, the Netflix show, which is now back on Disney. But
Yes.
like when and the first hallway fight they did,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone got so excited, and even I, who don't really like extended martial arts fight sequences, thought,
Yeah.
this is good. This is some good choreography, and this is interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
the direction is not making me like it's moving the camera in a way that makes this more interesting. And
Yep.
like I kind of liked it. And ever since, every superhero thing and everything that has an excuse to use martial arts has copied that. Even
Yep.
Daredevil itself, to the point where it's like another hallway fight, huh?
Well, it's like, okay, we're Daredevil. Every season we got to have at least one hallway fight for people to talk about. And also
No.
the other Marvel shows will also do another hallway fight.
Because that's the thing we did that people liked. So let's just do it into the ground. And
Yep.
And we've called out
Marvel.
we've called out modern Star Trek for doing this a lot. They've copied Game of Thrones. They did that a lot with the Klingons and Disco. They have copied like Walking Dead, like all the big shows from the last 10 years. They have incorporated, and Star Trek's always done that. But it just feels more pronounced because there's more to steal from. You don't have to steal from the big tentpole ones.
Yeah.
But just doing and it was just dingy, flickery lights, cameras flipping around, and they're just rage monkeys with these stupid drugs, and it's so dumb.
It's so fucking and just like you, as I said before with fantasy and stuff, like you can get me with a good hallway fight, like if it's good, but there's nothing here. Like this is the dregs. It's just a guy runs up and Mbenga punches him, or a guy runs up and Chapel kicks him or whatever, repeat ad nauseum, and then they're done and they're like, whew, that was a big fight, and then more guys come around the corner,
level
and another
2
fight starts.
And
now we're on the elevator level, and Chapel kicked over a barrel and took a ham out of it.
But are they bad enough dudes? Etc.
That's fucking. The modern world really ruined wanting to save the president.
Yeah, I that's why I kind of trailed off there. Is like, well, you know what I mean. I don't want to say it because nobody wants to be a bad enough dude to do that. But yeah, and
I
then
hope the Mad Gear Gang keeps the president, if I'm being honest.
And then we get some Batman questioning a dirtbag stuff with Mbenga, like,
Yep.
because he's still all raged out and he's still like threatening to kill this Klingon. And I cannot imagine threatening a Klingon with violence would get any information out of him, but it does.
That's every fucking day for them, man. Like,
yeah. This is
wake
like,
up and just like, I'm going to punch you in the face until you give me some pancakes.
This is like, we didn't see the whole drinking scene with Spock, but there were definitely some little tussles like that.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. And, okay, I don't mind that Mbenga has some PTSD. I saw this in your notes, too. Like, that's not a bad thing, because Disco did say the Klingon War just happened, and these people have gone through that, and it was rough for them. And I don't entirely hate the fact that there is a drug that amps, like, is PCP or whatever, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't love that, but okay, these two medical brains can cook up something to get them out of this, and all right, I guess, but it's just so boring to watch.
That's I'm interested in Mbenga's PTSD as a character thing, not as a reason to punch Klingons in the face.
No. Also, as you pointed out, like, they got the fucking head ridges. This has got to be like breaking your hand.
Oh yeah, that's gotta hurt so much. Their heads are so bony. It's all bone.
Now, here is something that I really want to praise this episode for. This is almost my good thing, but I wanted to get the Carol Kane thing out there.
Yeah.
The entire aesthetic of everything Klingon in this episode is great.
Oh, yeah, it looks so good.
Every Klingon they cast, we always talk about, like, certain alien looks. Like, certain people make good Vulcans. Certain people make good Klingons, and so on. And, like, everyone they cast had a good sort of starting face, and then the makeup was great, and the costuming was great, and then one of the old school fucking Klingon cruisers showed up, and that looked great.
Oh,
like,
that ruled.
It's like they worked very hard to undo what Disco did to the Klingons.
Yes.
Like, everything looked really good.
Yeah, not a single Disco Klingon in this, and I am pretty happy about that.
If they just went away forever, I'd be fine. There's a small part of me that's like, shouldn't they have smooth foreheads right now? But I don't care.
I've said this before. I think it would be really interesting to have, like, if you have like a crowd of Klingons, there's like a couple with smooth heads. But like, I guess we just don't do that.
I'm fine. Whatever. That is the minorest of nitpicks, and I'm not gonna,
I love the dude at the end that Spock goes drinking with shows up. And I'm like, that guy looks a lot like he's got that real Christopher Lloyd vibe.
Disagree. What he reminded me of, he reminded me of a different guy from the movies, which was the Klingon ambassador, James T. Kirk, renegade and murderer. Yeah, which I know I'm doing kind of a Christopher Lloyd voice there, but he sounded different. Like, he's older, kind of stocky, like you buy him more as a politician than as a straight up warrior.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like the design of his makeup, like maybe it's meant to be the same character. I don't know. But He just
said
seemed
his
like
name,
that
and
guy.
I couldn't remember what Christopher Lloyd's name is, but
It's Cruise.
Cruise. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. No,
I'm
it
like-
definitely wasn't him.
You guys know each other, like you brothers or something?
They might be in the same house.
Yeah.
That's a thing, right? Houses.
Oh,
no,
I named all of
remember.
them.
Yeah, I remember. And then
Yeah.
Brian drew them all.
Yeah.
That was very good.
There, again, the drinking scene. You see like the gold and black Klingon armor, and I'm like, that looks good as shit.
Yeah. No, they definitely said, okay, whatever that was is over, and we're back to the way, you know.
Yeah, we're not doing
things-
this anymore. No more Klingons that look like the clown from It.
Mm-hmm. Clown.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. I've been re-listening to Beyond Belief, so I just...
Oh, nice.
Clown.
Clown.
Mhm.
Frank.
Oh,
Types of
honk your
dog.
nose. He's going to trip over his big floppy shoes. Okay, what else? Oh, the episode at the end was dedicated to Nichelle Nichols. I suspect
Oh,
she
yeah, that
died
was nice.
around this time, and that
Yeah.
was like they said something sweet about her, something like she opened the door. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
look, black woman like on the bridge, like that was a big
Yeah,
deal
that's
in the
huge.
'60s. Yeah, exactly. We all know this, but it was nice for them to say that.
Yeah, just a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
What
What else?
else? Anything else?
I think that's about it. Back to your bad thing real quick. April says, consider that Klingon hangover your punishment because Spock's like, you know, got a hangover. And
Ugh.
like, really? Did you just make him smoke an entire pack of Klingon? Come on, man. I know Pike's the dad on this show. You can't also be the dad on this show.
Enterprise House.
Crusty old admiral. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, also, I never want to see a small girl being in a drinking contest ever again.
Oh, that's how we rejoin Connie.
Yeah.
On the Klingon. Look, she can hold her own with And look, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand that's a good way to show your less physically imposing character can hang. Like, they did it with Dax, but
Yeah.
Dax was at least kind of tall. But, like,
Yeah.
still, like, I don't. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Just knock it off. Like, it's another one of those things where it pops up like, yeah, I've seen Raiders too. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and they also, our notes are so similar. Like,
yeah.
about halfway through, I start looking at yours. I'm like, that's what I said. That's what I
Yep.
said. That's what I said. Oh, this next note, that's what I just thought.
Yep.
Like,
Well, we
because
are the
there's that-
exact same.
well, certainly on Star Trek we are.
Yeah.
And like, we're going to disagree next week. The one that I thought it was this week is next week. And you liked it more than I did. But that,
We'll see. That was one, like, we'll get into it next week. But like,
Yeah,
when I watched
yeah.
that was one of the best episodes of Trek I've ever seen. I was shocked that you didn't like it.
I understand. And we'll get into
Yeah.
it. And we have gotten to the point now where we can do that and like not feel anxiety about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. I'm right about that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, as
don't
long
wanna-
as you say so.
It was mostly your anxiety. I don't want to speak entirely for you, but that's what you've told me before. So
Yeah.
okay, good. But yeah, because there was a Return of the Jedi moment where she's like trying to bargain with the Klingons, and she's holding a thermal detonator.
Yep.
and we
Oh
both
my God.
both pointed that out. Just okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, that's all for this time. As I have alluded to, next time is we're going to deal with Una and what her deal. Like Maggie said in her summary, Pike rode off to help her, and we're gonna pick up with that plot next week with Ad Astra per Aspera.
Yep.
Which is one of NASA's mottos, and also was the title of a recent movie, and also the title of an Endeavor episode, because everyone's head was kind of in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, what Latin haven't they used yet that has to do with space? So this works. Let's see. The website is ever postatomichorror.com. If you want to write to us, it is postatomichorror@gmail.com. And of course, the Patreon, patreon.com/Algar. As little as $1, you get all the stuff.
Yep. Next weekend, if you're listening to this on the Patreon, I am going to be attempting to stream the Star Trek Voyager game
Yes. So this will do Saturday, you think?
Yeah, I believe Saturday will be the
Okay,
is the
so
plan.
February 28th. If you're
Yes.
hearing this before February 28th, you should be able to check that out. How do they do that? Are you on? what do you do?
I'll put a link up. I'm gonna be. I don't use my Blue Sky almost ever anymore, but I'll put the link up on my Blue Sky at Maggie Robots.
But what do you like? Are you? Is it? I don't. I'm so out of.
Oh,
the
it'll be
loop
on
of
Twitch.
People still. Okay, Twitch.
Yeah.
So, and is your name the same on there? I assume.
Yes, Maggie Robots.
Okay. Yeah, they should be able to find you then.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Look forward to that. And that's all for this time.
Yeah. See you, folks.
The Post-Atomic Horror Podcast is a co-production of Maggie Robotham and Ron Algar Watt. Copyright 2026. Please don't sue us. We're just doing this for fun.